expectations are always kind of a tricky thing, especially when it comes to your favorite team's rookies. Like, we all want them to come in, be first round draft picks, just be amazing Hall of Famers. You know, 8 guys in a draft class, you want all of them to be Hall of Famers. I get it. But at the same time, you need to be able to actually look at the player, what they've come through from college, and now the player that they could potentially be in the NFL. You got to pump the brakes sometimes. It's tough, I know. But when we're talking about expectations for the 2023 Las Vegas Raiders draft class, you got to be able, I think there's a couple players you got to pump the brakes on. And there's quite a few players, actually, that you have to be excited for. And just looking at this one, taking a stab at the dark here, I was going to try to do it off the top of my head, but I'm not going to do that. So you see Tyree Wilson here. When we talk about, what he did last year with Texas Tech, I think there's a lot of good things that he did. I mean, consistency obviously was a huge concern for him, but Tyree Wilson is going to be that dude. I absolutely believe that. I think that he is a way better version of a taller athlete, a faster, stronger athlete on the edge that you really want to develop your defense around. So I think Tyree Wilson for this first year, I think the expectation has to be, hey, come in and learn behind Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, two of the greats at the position, and you need to be able to really define and redefine who you are as a pass rusher, as well as a guy that sets the edge. And Tyree Wilson, I also would like to see some versatility. I think you have to be able to, maybe potentially put him on the inside, see if he maybe in a NASCAR package. Do you get Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson, and Max Crosby all on the field at the same time on 3rd and long? Like, I think that could be potentially something that could be really exciting. And again, the expectation is, maybe probably going to be a guy that only gets 3 to 5 sacks in his rookie year, but really seeing a guy that develops all season long, and when he gets more opportunities, he really makes the most of them. So I think Tyree Wilson, with expectations with him, yes, as a top 10 pick, you want him to be the defensive player of the year. I absolutely get it. But hey, we also got to take into consideration the fact that, hey, there's a couple of other really good pass rushers on the Raiders right now. He needs to be a guy that, again, you pump the brakes on, but you're excited for when he does take care of business. Then in the second round, so Michael Mayer is one of those guys that I think any expectation you have for him about being that dude at the tight end position is completely justified. I think he could be the next George Kittle, and I don't say that lightly, but and I know that obviously, he's only a rookie. How can you make the comparison? All I'm saying is that he's got like a lot of similar traits. I think he's going to be a solid pass blocker, or run blocker, as well as a solid pass catcher. So I'm really excited for Michael Mayer. He was the steal of the draft, according to a lot of people, including myself. So I think that for him, that 50-60 catch mark for his rookie season is not out of the realm of possibility. 5 touchdowns probably is going to be my prediction there for Michael Mayer. Byron Young, he's kind of in a similar position as to Tyree Wilson. Like, I really just want to see what they have in him. Like, can he rush from the outside? Can he rush from the inside? I know he's mainly a defensive tackle, but he's a bigger guy. So what I mean by that, can he go from the 5 tech? Can he go from the 3 tech? Can he go from the 1 tech, the 0 tech? Like, what do you have in Byron Young that really justified you taking him in the 3rd round? I think the expectation there has to be, hey, you've already got Neil Farrell Jr., as well as a couple of other guys like Matthew Butler and Dilo Nichols on that D line. What can he do to really add to this mix? I think, somewhere in the realm of 20 tackles, maybe a sack in his rookie year needs to be probably the expectation. But I think he could be a premier pass rusher at the D tackle position in the future. But again, you need to be able to let these guys develop and do their thing. Trey Tucker, the wide receiver out of Cincinnati, I think he is a guy that, I've said it from the beginning, your offense needs a gadget player, and Trey Tucker will be that for the Raiders. I think, honestly, in the anywhere from the 20 to 40 catch range will be it for him, but also look for him to be in the return game, as well as getting a couple of reverses and end arounds. I think that is definitely in the realm of possibility. A lot of screens, a lot of short passes, seeing what he can do to turn the ball up the field. And again, I think you're going to see a guy that might have similar college production to what he had in the pros. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be a guy that goes out and gets 100 catches for you, over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. Like, that's just not his game. But he is going to be a really good player, just kind of a change of pace wide receiver that gets you those catches out in space and makes something happen. I think that's got to be the expectation. Jacorian Bennett, the corner out of Maryland, I'm really excited about him. As far as expectations, though, like, there's going to be growing pains. Like, there's such a leap from the college level to the NFL that people really don't take into consideration. Like, again, I understand that Trey Tucker is that, or Jacorian Bennett was that dude at the combine, but does that translate to the NFL? I just don't know that we've seen that. Like, honestly, there's a couple of players that have ran fast and done all the good things, but it doesn't necessarily translate. So that definitely needs to be, in the understanding for having expectations for him. I think he's going to be in the rotation, 20 to 30 tackles, maybe an interception his rookie year. I think he's going to struggle at first just because of the bigger bodied wide receivers that he's going to have to to face. The Rashid Rice going to the Chiefs is tough, as well as the Chargers getting a guy like Quentin Johnston. Plus, they also have guys like Mike Williams and all that. So yeah, I understand he's probably going to struggle at first, but I think by the end of the year he could be one of the more young, promising players in the NFL. Aiden O'Connell, I think at this point it's a backup. See what you got in him. What can you develop and bring him to be in terms of being that quarterback? I don't know if he's the quarterback of the future, but he needs to be a guy that just sits behind Jimmy G and the rest of this quarterbacking staff and really just see what you have in a guy like Aiden O'Connell. Christopher Smith, it's going to be the same thing as Jacorian Bennett. Like he might not see the field. Christopher Smith might not see the field as much as Jacorian Bennett, to be honest with you, because the Raiders brought in Marcus Epps. You also have a guy like Trayvon Morgan, who I'm really excited about. So I'm not necessarily seeing him have such a huge impact early on, but we could see a guy that, maybe as the season goes on, maybe some injuries happen or maybe some things just happen in coverage that you want to just try him out and see what you got. I think towards the end of the season, he could really show himself to be a young quality player in the NFL and maybe get more opportunities to start in the future. Amari Burney, the linebacker coming up out of Florida, I think it's going to be a practice squad guy. There's a lot you really got to like here. I think he reminds me a lot of Anton Exum, that's right, from the Vikings a couple of years ago. A big linebacker / safety that can cover pretty much anybody. The question is like, how is he going to take on blocks at the NFL level? Is he a linebacker? Is he kind of a tweener? Is he a safety? What is he? And, really, how do you see him going into the NFL and going from there? But I'm excited about him. Might be a practice squad guy. Might see a little bit of action later on in the year. But overall, I think you got to pump the brakes there a little bit, too. And then finally, Nesta Jade Silvera out of Arizona State. I'm interested in this one with Jade Silvera, mainly because of how the rest of this defensive tackle room is going to look. Bile Nichols and company, are we going to stop the run? If they can stop the run, I don't really see Nesta getting the time of day, but if things aren't going well in the D-tackle room, we could see NJS, that's right, I'm making up acronyms here, we could see him maybe get a little bit more playing time and have a lot of fun with it. So, again, I understand that, there's a lot of excitement with this Raiders rookie class. There's also a lot of people in the comment section that hate it. I understand it. I agree with some of them that I would have liked the Raiders to take maybe a right guard or a right tackle, or maybe kind of help out in that area as well. Plus, Ivan Pace Jr. How do you not get Ivan Pace Jr. in the 6th or 7th? It really does. I know that the size issues and all that, but come on, there has been example after example of players, that are on the shorter side that just fly around and make plays. I don't know. Eric Kendricks could potentially be one. Like Eric Kendricks isn't over 6'2", like he's like 6 foot. So I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, the expectations for the Las Vegas Raiders class in 2023. Let us know what you guys think about them. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We love all of you guys. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the expectations for the Las Vegas Raiders 2023 NFL Draft class.